All right, everybody, thank you very much. I'm Lukas, Lynch, and today I would love to talk to you about those moments in life where we make a split-second decision, and the result of that decision is something far greater than we ever could have perceived at the time. So I'm going to share my personal story when I made a decision like that, and it really changed and shaped who I am today. So it all started off when I was in primary school, and I would like to invite everybody here to just close their eyes for a second and picture their primary school crush or love interest or someone they fancied. I know for some of you old people it might be a bit difficult, but bear with me. So when you think of that person, I had someone very special to me. So whenever the master of the choristers from St. Colum's Cathedral Choir came in and invited anyone who was interested in joining the choir to stand up, there were absolutely no doubts in my mind. I was going to stand up. It's going to be like this Hollywood moment, dramatic music in the background. This girl's going to fall right into my arms. It's going to be fantastic. Going to live happily ever after. So I stood up. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And then a week later, I'm sitting in this big, colossal, creepy cathedral. I'm thinking to myself, what the hell have I got myself into? Completely out of my depth, completely uncomfortable. I had no idea what was going on around me. But then naturally, with stepping out of my comfort zone, I became more comfortable. I became more comfortable with my surroundings, with the people around me. And I started to really pick up the pace. I started to really develop my abilities and develop as a character as well. So I'm going to explain the benefits that I personally gained through this split-second decision using the acronym CHOIR, which is obviously very fitting. Start from the top, C. C is confidence. You may find this difficult to believe, but before I joined the choir and had this opportunity, I was a very timid and shy person. I never used to raise my hand in class, never used to volunteer answers. I was quite reserved. So naturally in choirs, now and again, you're going to have to sing solos. So the idea kept cropping up. It kept being asked if I wanted, to perform a solo. And, obviously it's a 10-year-old. This is a big, big deal. So I kept putting it off until eventually I said, I can't do it any longer. So I remember accepting the solo, and in rehearsal, it was great. It went perfectly countless times. And then as soon as I was in the big cathedral again, I remember standing in the front, trembling, shaking my music, and I feel very sorry for the people there because the sound that came out was as if a cat was being strangled. It was absolutely hideous. But then again, as I said, as time went on, I became a lot more comfortable in those situations. I became a lot more confident singer, and I was able to sing solos just effortlessly, which is something I never could have imagined I would be able to do. And then this confidence in the choir and in my musical ability transferred to my daily life. So then I was no longer afraid to, put my hand up in class. I was branching out. I was meeting more people. I was making more friends. And it was, a very, very beneficial thing to me. And it made me become who I am. Some people like the term loudmouth, especially my friends. But it really did help me become more confident and a more able person. So moving on, H is for happiness. The amount of happiness that I gained from that experience of being in the choir was substantial. As I said, as my confidence increased, I branched out and made new friends, and these friends are some people that to this day, I'd call my best friends. Really, really great people, and I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to meet them. Not only that, it gave me something to look forward to. Before I had this opportunity, I wasn't really doing much, but now I had something to look forward to at the weekends, rehearsal, singing in the cathedral. And in my eyes, it was just a bit of crack with the mates, It wasn't really going up and singing in a big religious building. It was, just having a bit of fun. And it overall really improved my morale as a person, which is fantastic. So next we have O, and O is for opportunity. So you often find when you make these split-second decisions, so many more opportunities will find their way towards you. My first opportunity, I'll say, was the ability or the opportunity to learn how to sing well, which is fantastic when you're out doing karaoke, of course. And then more recently, the opportunity to study piano was given to me through the choir. Again, something I'd never really considered. I thought it might be too difficult or maybe a bit too nerdy, uncool. But then I found once I started, it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I just, it was something I became very passionate about very, very quickly. And due to me being so passionate about the piano, as I said, I very recently attained a scholarship to study organ at the cathedral, which is something I'm extremely, extremely proud of. And again, wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't have got the opportunity to study piano in the first place. And then another more recent opportunity I was given was the ability to sing in the National Youth Choir of Northern Ireland, which is a very prestigious youth choir. Again, something I'm extremely, extremely proud of and very thankful that I got the opportunity for. And that would then give me the ability to tour all around the world with the choir in such countries such as Norway, France, Italy. So it's, again, something I'm very optimistic for the future. So next we have I, and I is for immersion. And by that I mean immersion into a topic that you previously would have dismissed or not given any thought to. So nobody really wants to greet somebody and say, hello, I'm a choir boy. I mean, it's not ideal. But then again, once I started, I really, had a liking to it, and I was really passionate about it very, very quickly. And then another thing I immersed myself in was just classical music. Again, something that everyone sort of has a preconception about. I certainly did. It's uncool, it's boring, it's something my nan listens to, something like that. But again, it's something now I look back on and think, something I really couldn't live without. I listen to it all the time. It's part of my daily life. And it's just something I hold in such high regard. And honestly, I literally couldn't imagine a life without it. And then I wouldn't have been able to, get that amazing knowledge about this classical music if I hadn't have got that opportunity in the first place. So next we have R, and R is simply just the realization that if you hadn't made that split-second decision all those years ago, you would have missed out on so much, so many fantastic opportunities, so many great friendships, so many amazing memories throughout your life. Traits that I carry with me to this day wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't have made that split-second decision in the past. And I just think it's always funny because it was such a random chance that I managed, I joined the choir in the first place. But I found that, it's the best decision I've ever made of my life. It's absolutely fantastic. So to anyone here who has had a similar experience like that, who has made a decision, maybe without thinking about how it may change the future, and it's made a big impact in the future, just imagine where you would be if you didn't make that decision, all the people that you wouldn't know if you hadn't made that decision. And that may put things in perspective, how I believe that life will just find a way of giving you these things. So to everyone here, I would say, go out, get involved. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to throw yourself in the deep end. And if you stick at that, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. So in the end up, I didn't get the girl, but what I did get were values and traits and experiences that will be with me for the rest of my life and are absolutely astounding. And are stuff that, I'm so thankful that I did make that first leap and I stuck with it. But thank you very much. I've been Lukas, Lynch.